What are you guys doing here? The show's over. Why are you still hanging around? You stayed to episode 8? Really? All the way through? You want to talk about it? Alright, let's talk about it. And welcome everybody. Thank you for tuning in to one of my solo videos where I do my recap review of Ahsoka. Now, before I get started, I want to thank everybody for who viewed my video before. It was my highest viewed solo video. Also, I like to thank for everyone who gave thumbs up. I want to thank people who gave me thumbs down. I want to thank people who commented, no matter what it said. I like the interaction, and I'm really glad you guys are tuning in to watch this video as I talk about a Star Wars show on Disney+. Now, if you do like this video, please hit that thumbs up because it sure does help the channel, helps the video, helps us in the algorithm. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button so you never miss great content when it drops. Now, I think it's time for me to get into Ahsoka episode 8. And like my good friend LA Knight says, let me talk to you. Alright, now if you guys watched the last solo video and you watched to the end, you saw where my views were and like what I'm expecting out of the series and what I was expecting for it was to end. I was pretty much done. I'm checked out. I just watching it to watch it at this point, just because I like to finish things that I start. So with that said, episode 8. Yeah, in the series in general, that's about my reaction. So episode 8, you start off with this huge ceremony where the Baroness gets leveled up by the witches, and she gets this really cool green fire katana sword. Not like a lightsaber. It was a metal sword that had green flames shining around it. You also see her get a little black in her eyes, looking more like the three sisters of her order. And then Thrawn just watching on. Now, here's the part that gets me, and we could end this episode right here at the 5-minute mark, and it would have been over. You would have had the exact same thing that happened if it finished here at 5 minutes, or if it finished at the end of the 48 minutes minus the recap, intro, and end credits. They told him that the cargo bay was filled and that they could go. Why are we hanging around to hang around? Like, you could have left right then and there. They were nowhere near there. Like, they were moving at a snail's pace, literally, with the rock snails or rock turtles or whatever that species is that drive their shell light vehicles, while her craft just hangs over the top. You could have pulled out right there. It could have hooked up and everybody would have lost. It's set for Thrawn, the sisters, and the new Empire. So, yep, that could have been the end of the episode. All done. But instead, they want to... Like, I thought of this episode like when you have a little brother and you're like doing like a race with him. I'm talking about like the little brother. Like, he's like 5, just learning how to run, or like 3 or 4. Like, they're just learning how to run, and you guys doing a fake race, and you slow down to let him catch up, and then you speed up a little, and then you. That was what I thought Thrawn was. Like, he was slowing down on purpose to let them get closer. There was no need for that. If you're a tactical genius, as they say he is, he would have been gone. There was no reason to engage them. They would have been stranded on this planet, and the chess pieces would have been removed off the board for the New Republic. Leaving 3 Force wielders and 1 half Mandalorian stranded on an island or a planet of death, with 2 other Force wielders that you didn't see until the end. The most interesting character, Braylon Straw, and then his apprentice, Shin. I'm going to get into them because really they only took up about less than 1% of the episode. So you had Shin show up to the locals and show her lightsaber, like, I'm going to be the leader and you guys are going to follow me. That was that. She was riding one of the wolves because, of course, she's riding a wolf because Dave Filoni likes people riding wolves for some reason. And then you have Braylon Straw, which was like the little... I liked this where he didn't say anything, but he was brooding, and like he looked like he was finding what he was looking for, which to this point, we still don't know. But the statue standing on the Lord of the Rings-ish of the Forgotten Kings statue kind of looked like him. And that, I thought, was pretty good and a nice homage to the actor who is no longer with us. And which brings me to my next question. Are they going to recast him? Or is that story just going to go into fairy dust? Knowing Star Wars, I'm guessing fairy dust. So, moving on to the Disney Star Wars. The only thing I can say about this is that I believe this is no longer your dad's Star Wars. That's the way I can say it. Because what made Star Wars great, what made Star Wars so loved by the fans over the past, almost 10 years that Disney's owned it, they've squeezed every last ounce of love that people had for this out. And now it's just another thing that comes on. They did the same thing with the Phase 4 of Marvel. And not do anything. And this is going to my last point of what Disney does to IPs. And it starts with Marvel. Marvel had a series of interesting villains that they kill off at the end. They just kill them off. So they can never come back. And they did the same thing here in Ahsoka, where you had the Baroness all leveled up with her green sword, and she gets one duel again. She gets her last duel. Spoilers, last duel with Ahsoka. Now, remember her duel where she had the Beskar spear in Mandalorian Season 2? This actress has skills, a choreographer, and she knows how to do a fight scene. And she nailed it again. You look like she's been doing this all her life. This sword was part of her. And actually, Rosario Dawson stepped up, and I thought she did all right too, losing one of her lightsabers in the thing, taking a hit. But the duel was, how do I say this? Well, let's put an asterisk next to this, because she had it won. She had stormtroopers firing. She was taking on an Ahsoka, nets leveling, blocking, sending blaster bolts back. And then for some reason, they stopped shooting and let them two duel it out again. Were they scared they're going to hit the Baroness? They are stormtroopers, so there is that. They might not hit the wrong person. But not only are they stormtroopers, they're zombie stormtroopers. So not only can they not shoot, they can't move fast either. So we just downgraded these, except that they can't ever die unless you cut off their head with a lightsaber, which is a thing. All right, so that's pretty much my take. We got Thrawn leaving and winning, leaving behind two of the three heroes, two of the three heroes. One getting on the Chimera as it connects to the super hyper ring, supercharged hyperspace that can jump from galaxy to galaxy, which hyperspace technically should be able to do that on its own and wouldn't need a ring, but that's beside the point, off the subject. Fate physics to begin with. Moving on, and then you have Ezra at the end coming back, doing the callback to the opening scene where Braylon and Shin land on a Republic ship and free the Baroness. They had the ship land, same type of ship, and then they had the smoke come down, and then what comes look like a stormtrooper. If you watch the episode, you know who it is, because he pulls a dead body over to the side, and he knew a patrol was coming, so I guess he thought to jump in and fake to be a zombie until he could steal a ship without being noticed, without being shot at, or without being followed, and get to Republic space where he lands on a carrier to reveal himself to Hera. As you can see, there's a lot of question marks in this, just like there's been a lot of question marks in this whole series. Now, are they trying to set up for season 2? And if so, are they going to recast some people, namely Braylon Straw, because he has passed away? Is it to set up the movie? People are saying that should be picked up in season 4 of Mando, which doesn't actually... we know Pedro Pascal is not returning in season 4, so we don't know who they're going to be following in that, which is the Mandalorian to be anyone, because they're all Mandalorians. So once again, I would say that Disney has once again accomplished its mission and destroyed a IP that I love, destroyed something that's from my childhood. They just crush it, just like they're starting to do with Marvel, like keeping the X-Men on a back burner, which everyone knows X-Men and Spider-Man are the two backbones of Marvel Comics. Always has been, always will be. Sometimes they don't know when to leave well enough alone, and that is where I'm going to leave this. This does not require a watch. It does not require a rewatch. It does not require a binge watch. Watch it if you have nothing else to do. You're laid up. You just had knee surgery, and you're stuck on the couch, and you've already watched everything else on every other streaming service. This is the type of show that will make me cancel a subscription because it disappointed me so much. So that's what I have to say about that. Like I said, if you agree with me, let me know. Put it in the comments. If you don't agree with me, put it in the comments. Like the video if you do agree with me, because like I said, it does help us. We are trying to grow. So hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you did like this video. Hit that notification bell so you don't hear anything. We have some fun stuff coming up here for a horror season. Like if you already see, we have part 1 and part 2 of our trivia session. We're going to be breaking in a session where we're going to be talking about horror movies. We're going to be like a quick little podcast type discussion of like 3 movies to lead you into horror. We might be breaking down a couple of these newer horror films. We also might be having a horror draft, a theater draft with horror movies. Like we're going to have fun with this season of horror that we have in October. Because we all know legends are born in October. But with that said, and I think I'm going out, and you know how we go out here with the King Z solo videos. The camera goes black.